Hello, Henry from Belgium here. Today I show you my restoration project of the Playmobil set 3551. Fishing boat Susanne from 1983. And we will actually launch the boat. Keep watching the video. In a previous video you could see that I found this boat at the flea market for €1. The cheap purchase price was the only good news, because the condition is really bad. But it's just how you look at it. You can also look through the dirt and see which things are still good, and there are quite a few. The hull of the boat is not damaged. The deck also looks good. This mast is damaged, but this mast is still beautiful when we do some cleaning work. We can also clean these parts nicely. I suggest we start by disassembling all the parts and give everything a nice clean. First I fill a container with water and put some all-purpose cleaner in it. Then I let the parts soak for a while, so that most of the dirt comes off. Then I will clean it more carefully. First with a sponge, and then with a toothbrush. I do that with all the parts until they are really clean. The most challenging part of this project is making the hull beautiful. The exterior is in two parts. The part that rises above the water is believed to be glossy white, and the underside is brown. When someone bought this set 40 years ago, there was a brown marker in the box for this. First I will remove these stickers. They don't belong here at all. This sticker is the number of the boat, but should actually hang at the front. I will remove it now and put it back later. After removing the stickers you can clearly see what the original white was. There are many so-called remedies to turn yellow discolored plastic white again. Magic sponges, bleach, plastic remover, etc. Unfortunately, I do not get the desired result. The surface is too large and the difficulty here also lies mainly in the brown layer. The liquid runs through it, and the brown layer will completely run out and fade. So the only solution to bring this to a successful end is to repaint it. But I don't want the boat to look brand new. The wear gives it the necessary character and it may well continue to look like an old boat. I also like the brown layer, which is drawn in a childish way with a brown marker. Actually, I want to get rid of the places where the stickers were. And I want to get rid of a few ugly stains. First I rub everything further clean with a mixture of bleach, nail polish remover and plastic remover. The fact that the brown layer is partly erased is not a problem in this process. After the boat has completely been rubbed off, I tape off the underside. We're just going to repaint the top. I do this with a spray can, because then I have better control of what gets covered with paint, and I also have control over the pressing force. And another interesting fact, I actually use two spray cans. One with the color white and one with dark gray to simulate some wear. So, I do this very quietly and calmly until I get the desired result. After drying overnight, this is the result. I must say I am really satisfied. The white is not snow white, but there are some grayer shades here and there. I like that, and it adds some wear and character to the boat. And most importantly, the places where the stickers were are no longer visible. Now let's finish the bottom. The brown layer has faded a bit, and I would like to get back the effect of the brown marker. So we can do this by using a brown marker. The original marker is unfortunately no longer available, but I found one that is 99% identical. So now we're going to color the bottom like a 9-year-old to get the desired effect. Nice! And the last part, the inside. We're going to clean that superficially, so most of the dirt is off. Not because I'm lazy, but because it won't be visible in the first place, but mainly because this is foam under which the weights sit. I don't want this all to get wet or rotten. So let's leave it that way. This piece, the cargo area, will be visible. We clean this with an all-purpose cleaner, and we spray a very thin layer of black paint over it. As the very last step, we are now going to rub the entire boat with sandpaper. We do this to make the entire boat look a bit outdated. I do this in a careful way, not too hard and not too soft, and not everywhere. Do this by feel and decide for yourself how much you rub off and how much you don't. And voila, this is the result. Exactly how I wanted it. The boat does not look brand new. But at least it looks better than before, and that was the intention. Now we have restored and cleaned everything properly. And all parts are now neatly sorted here. I make a list of these parts on the computer. Then I search the internet for as much information as possible. At best, I find an inventory of what should be in the set. And I'll make a second list of that. In this way we get an overview of what is missing, and the search for the missing parts can begin. Of course I may be able to find all the individual parts on eBay, or buy a complete new boat right away. But what's fun about that? I just like looking for parts at flea markets, specialized fairs, attics, etc. And I also like to do this in the cheapest way. Only in this way you can keep it challenging for yourself, and is it a fun activity? That's why it's also good to first calculate for yourself per project what you wish to spend on it, and whether it is ultimately worth it. It is what the collector is willing to pay for it, but I suspect that a nice set without box and manual is worth around 150 euros. So it certainly makes no sense to spend much more than that amount for the restoration. I like to spend as little as possible, of course, because then I have more money left over for other projects. A realistic budget for this project seems to me to be 50 to 70 euros. And once you've determined that budget for yourself, you have to stick to it. If necessary, you have to wait until the right parts come on your way. And in the meantime you can start another project. Only in that way you can keep everything affordable. And eventually sell your items later with a profit. As a collector I search at flea markets and I also buy large batches of Playmobil from older people who empty their attics. And that way I was able to collect already quite a few parts. And in the meantime, I also search the internet. Just because I don't like to buy on eBay, doesn't mean there's nothing to find on other websites. If you search carefully, you will find individual collectors who are selling parts on their personal website at good prices. Since my last video 2 months ago, I have been able to find all these parts already, and I have the impression that the set will be almost complete. The hardest thing to find was the roof of the cabin, this cover, the mast and the flags. One day I was lucky. These parts were in a large box between other parts. The fishermen and accessories were not that difficult to find. I found them relatively easily on the internet from various collectors. The only thing I'm still short is the original red buoy in the front. I have now made a reproduction of this myself in yellow. Someday I will come across it, and then I will buy it for a good price. I could also buy this immediately on eBay, but see what price they asking for this. I'm not crazy. So like I said, just wait for a certain part that comes on your way. Altogether I think I have spent €50 so far, and already have this wonderful result. The price also includes the purchase of this motor. It's not the original one from the 1980s, but for now I'm using it. So we can launch the boat. Of course it is nice to do this in a spacious pond like this one here. There are also applications where you can also control the boat with a remote control. And then you can of course also go out into nature to sail, but this is also a lot of fun to do. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, it's completely free. Until the next video.